From my location, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Depends on your time and your location that you are going to watch this program, live or later. I salute all the well-meaning Biafrans. I salute lovers of freedom, and I also salute haters of freedom. I salute every indigenous person who believe in United States of Biafra. I also salute my Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Arabueze. I salute my Prime Minister, Ma Simon Ebanjoko. I salute my President, Mazi Nnamdi Okukano. I salute all the Biafra commanders that believe in the 40 states of United States of Biafra. From me, from here, Moise to you all. So, my fellow Biafrans, I have saluted and I greeted everybody, and I will also welcome you. Please, as I welcome you, please welcome one another into our today's program. That is very, very imperative that if you may do so by welcoming another person, by liking and sharing the program. That is how you help this program or this particular platform to move on the things that we have to do on our own. So I urge you to do what? To like and share the program so others may know that we are live and we are direct here this afternoon / even on my own location for us to preach this, for us to do this exposition and let them know that we understand their rule in 1967 to 1970, and also for them to know that all the killings going on in every indigenous territory in one Nigeria, that means death sentence to every indigenous person. So the one that we all must understand and why we must focus is that we are fighting against power and principalities. That is one thing that must come into your mind. The waving powers that we are seeing today happen to be Britain, who caused the killings of the indigenous people in that contraction, in that business name called One Nigeria, which means death sentence to every indigenous people. So we are letting the world to know that we are tired of white people controlling our territory, controlling our life, where we are not even controlling their own, why we are not even trying to take over from them. For them who want to take over from us, we are calling on them to leave us. We also calling on US, Donald Trump, to intervene in the killing that is going on in Nigeria, the killing is going on in Biafra land. The thousands, the hundreds numbers of the killing that is going on every blessed day. So we are calling on Donald Trump as the king of the world and someone we love and someone we thought that he stand on the right of the human rights, for him to come up and defend and also tell Nigeria to recognize Biafra as a sovereign state. We are telling Donald Trump that Biafra has been re-declared on November 29, 2024 as a new sovereign state who exit Nigeria and who never want to stand with Nigeria anymore. So that is why we are calling on Donald Trump as the king of the world to help us to look at the face of the Biafran people that are dying every day. We are also calling on him to remind them that our president, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was kidnapped by Nigeria in Kenya, rendition him down to Nigeria on 2021 until today. He is still in DSS dungeon in Nigeria, and they could not allow him to go. Now they have continuously holding him, that the Biafran people, with all the killings, with all the armor tanker, with all the barrels of gun in our land, in our territory, in our sovereign states, called United States of Biafra. We are calling on Donald Trump. We are calling on that UN that British used in 1967 to 1970 to stop Biafra from having their international organization. Britain used Britain used UN, OAU, and some other countries that they used to stop us, to stop Biafra international organization. That is why it is only for African people recognized us. So we have understand the pains, the thousands of numbers of the killings that was happened to us through Britain. The people that are dying today in the Benue State, the people that are dying today in the Benue State is because of the British amalgamation in 1914 that is causing death sentence in every indigenous people in that contraction, in that business area called One Nigeria. So that is why we are calling on them to please adhere to look at what is going on and how the Biafran people have stood up on our own, how we decide to take it by ourselves, because nobody will fight for freedom for anybody. Rather, we are the one to fight for our freedom, and we are the one to take it by force, because freedom is not being given, rather is being taken. When a group of people make up their mind that they want to have their own country and maintain the criteria of the international global community, maintain the rules and existing protocol of the criteria of Geneva Convention, Montevideo Convention, Vienna Convention, and UN Charter and all what's known, then they have met the criteria to become a country. So we are not waiting for anybody to fight for us. Rather, we are fighting for ourselves to get what we want. Even in a family, they have a betrayer. Talk less of those fighting for their new country. And the one thing that you must know when you come to this page is that you will take your 1 minute, your 2 minutes to write garbage. It takes me only a second to wipe you and wipe your comments out on my page and also delete you and block you. So rushing to be writing nonsense, you could have asked yourself, what will stop what I'm doing? We letting the world to know that we are not waiting for anybody to fight for us. We, the Biafran people, are what? Fighting for ourselves. We are only doing what other countries in Africa, like Namibia, did. We are also doing what country like Sudan did. We are also doing what country like Eritrea did. We are also doing what country like Seychelles did in Africa, looking for their own freedom. A country called Namibia got their independence from South Africa. When they are fighting, they are having betrayers within themselves. So, even Jesus Christ was betrayed. The rest of we who are mere mortals, why are we not have betrayers? Like you, Isaac, who is a betrayer if you happen to be an Igbo man. We are not letting you to know that anybody's. We are only calling on them because under the international law, they say we should call for them for international recognition after a country was declared. Kosovo was a country that was declared. Kosovo, he was a country who declared their independence. Kosovo is not a member of UN today, but they are a country. You can see them playing World Cup. You can see them playing many footballs in the world as a country. Today, Kosovo have their own currency. They have their own police. They have their own military. They have their own Air Force base and everything. So, we are only calling on Donald Trump as the head of the world to know that Biafra has been declared and for also give us international recognition. That is what we are doing. So, the Biafran people has pulled up their mandate by themselves by following the first criteria of the international global community, which means a declaration of a new country is a first step to become a sovereign state. Like people like Kosovo, country like Northern Cyprus. All these are countries. Country like today, Afghanistan, who chased American military away in their country, today have become a country that a whole Russia has been what? Recognized. And when it's come to Igbo man, some people will say it's not possible. It is a possible means. When you understand the criteria and how everything is being working, then you will understand what is going on and how a new country is going to be merged. It's not prohibited. It's not abomination, but rather it is a full legal, political, diplomatic process that the Biafran people under United States of Biafra as a country has been into. Look at what is going on in Burkina Faso, Adi Burkina Faso, 2025, over 3 days. The United States of Biafra have their own representative that are there seeking for diplomatic and recognition today. And in Adi Burkina Faso, a lot of countries are there. All the countries in Africa gathered together to ask or to stop the injustice that is going on in Biafra and every other country. Today, in South Africa, last week or some days ago, they have let the world know that Biafra issue is no longer internal affair of one Nigeria. Rather, it has drawn the attention of the global community for them to know that the people of Biafra has rose up to have their own country. So, we as the Biafran people, have stood up to take our independence on ourselves, to make our declaration. We are only letting the world to know that those criteria they asked us to meet under the Geneva Convention, Montevideo Convention, Vienna Convention, UN Charter, that we have met those criteria. Whether America comes, whether the country of the world comes, we have become a sovereign state like every other country in the world. We even have what it takes to be a country. More than Nigeria did not have a document of a country. Rather, Nigeria is only country who has amalgamation document. Could you imagine that? A country that was built was by force to the indigenous people to gather together to tell them, oh, you, from today, you are what? You are a one Nigeria. And today you can see that one Nigeria simply means death sentence to every indigenous people. That is why the government of United States of Biafra is pushing hard. So that is why the Biafran government under Dr. Ngozi Arabeze is pushing hard to let the world know that we have met those criteria and we are into diplomatic movement to make sure that Biafra is what? A country. That is what the government is doing. That is why in South Africa, they talked about Biafra. In Burkina Faso, they also did what? Talk about what? Biafra. And today, in the global stage, Biafra is in the global stage. That is why we want to bring out those things that stops our international recognition. Britain is the cost that no foreign country from Europe recognized Biafra. Britain single-handedly stopped us from having our international recognition in 1967 to 1970, and today again they are still playing that the same rule, that the same game. But this government that is now will stop Britain on their evil agenda. The Britain you are seeing today is evil. Britain is the cause of the genocide. Britain is the cause of what is happening in Nigeria, what is happening in Benue, in all over the north. They are the costs. That is why they handed over Nigeria to those who kill like them. Because in the war of Aga, of a Kumeku warrior, ask what is Britain doing in our land that made them to stand and fighting the indigenous people to wipe us because of what? Oil. Because of crude oil. That is only intention that Britain single-handedly leads to the death of over 5 million Biafrans and still counting till today. Today is not only happening in Biafra. It is happening in every part of Nigeria today. The kidnapping, the raping, the Fulani jihadis killing. In some weeks ago or 1 week ago, you heard on social media how Nigeria made peace with the bandits. In those 2 or 3 communities that Nigeria has made peace to, today, what is happening? There is killing attack even at yesterday night in one of those states, one of those communities that they said I have made peace. So their peace is death sentence, because the meaning of one Nigeria is a death sentence to every indigenous person that is living. And that is why we, as the Biafran people, have stood up and said, no, we are not going to condone this that is going on, because we want to be alive. That is why we are calling on every white man, every white country in the world to leave us Africa alone. We are calling on all of them to leave Africa. We are calling on them to leave Africa. Before I go further, I must go to comment section to thank all those who are making good comments. If I did not mention your name, that means you are putting a bad comment. So, a brother from America, I greet you. You're welcome. We are calling on all of you to set us, to leave our land, to leave our country. We're also calling on you to tell Donald Trump that the Biafran people are being killed by Nigeria military. What they are doing to us is unimaginable. So that is why we have decided that we don't want to belong there, and that is what our forefathers seized in 1967 by Chukwemeka Odumegwu to do what? To make a declaration of Biafra. Today, we have put in that name spices to make it sweet. That is why we call it United States of Biafra. We have go back to our roots to remember who we are. One Nigeria is not for me. I am a Biafran by birth. I am what? I am a Biafran by birth. And there is nothing like one Nigeria. Before one Nigeria, we the Igbos, we the Biafran people, we have been living a decent life. We are not fighting to take anybody land dispute. We are not fighting to take anybody's country. We are not fighting any land disputes with anybody. Rather, we stay on our own. People their own, doing their business. Go and check the heritage lineage of before the amalgamation. Then you may understand where we are coming from. In a special greetings to my senior comrade, Biafra Exodus. I salute you from here on Ezioku. When you come to this platform, I want to bring a word from my comrade, Biafra Exodus. It doesn't have to be a big ear like drone before you hear something. That is always his word. And there is another word that he's always saying that I want us to understand. All the enemies of Biafra are heading into Red Sea. Biafra has been officially declared. Biafra has been what? Officially declared. Onwuka, I greet you from here. God bless you. Our great leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and his disciple, Simon Ekpanjoko. In God we trust. All hail USB government and our DPM, Dr. Ngozi, DPM Ngozi Orabeze. In God we trust, in the name of Yeshua. He say, thank you so much. I see my brother there, Jay. Good evening from here. Thanks so much. So, we are moving. So, what we are saying is what is our right. But today, we want to let all the Biafrans, all the well-meaning Biafrans to know there is a fight, both within and without. There is a war going on in Biafra land. There is Nigerian military all over our land. And we don't want them anymore because they are occupying a foreign land. They must leave our land. Because for them to leave, we stop the killings. For them to leave, we stop all the genocide that is going on in Biafra land. For them to leave, we stop the killing that is going on in Benue State. All these are well orchestrated plan from the day Nigeria joined to become an Islamic country. Nigeria is a full member of the Islamic Jihad Union. The only plan, why they are killing the indigenous people that happen to be Christian and the real Muslims, is to occupy and take over their land, because they say that Nigeria is a safe haven where their Allah has given to them. Could you imagine that? It simply means those that migrate to America are telling America that America is where God giving them. Could you believe that? We want to know that, yes, that everything is going on. Britain becomes our problem. Do you know that Britain single-handedly sponsors the killings that is going on in Biafra land through UN and through AU today? How? They are the one who told them to not recognize Biafran people as a country, because if Britain allowed the countries that wanted to recognize us on the international global community, by now, all these things have not been there. And all of us who are experiencing what we are passing through in Lagos State, the destroying of the Biafran people's business, and the killing that is going on in Nigeria today, if Britain did not bring the amalgamation, all these things could not be happening. Why do they stop the Biafra recognition in 1967 to 1970? As we move on now, then you may understand and see it clearly. So, my people, I welcome you as we move into the events that bring us here this evening, according to what you see on our headline or on our capture this afternoon, please. So, it is very important that we understand those who stop us single-handedly and now know how to handle them. Because when you know your enemy, then you know how to defeat him. And there is interest of why Britain did what they did through Queen Elizabeth, and also that stupid human, that evil man called Frederick Lugard. The Frederick Lugard spearhead the killing of over 5 million Biafrans in 1967 to 1970 until this date. That is why, because of his evil, he knew that the Biafra as a nation will stop them from taking the crude oil from our land, from our ancestral homes. That is why today they still repeat it by not calling for Mazi Khan to be released as their own citizen who is on traveling to Kenya with their own passports. They are still stand where they stand. From 1967 to now, to the amalgamation time, they have been taking this oil and it's not enough for them. That is why they are sponsoring Nigeria with all the weapons. The way they want to diplomatic for Biafra to not to be a country is the same way Nigeria is using them to get all the equipment they are using to fight the Biafran people till today. So we are calling on Britain, whether you call it England, whether you call it London, we are calling on you to desist in our land, in our country. You are evil that you cause us the death of our people. This thing you sowed in our land, Britain will repeat very soon, because Ndinabi Siala is taking over. And as you are planning to chase them away by January, they are also planning what they did. So what the Biafran experienced from 1967 to this day, Britain, England, London, we experience it back, unless you call your government in order to leave us alone, leave our country, and recognize Biafra that they stopped in 1967 to 1970. For them to recognize United States of Biafra as a country, that is the only way. And they owe us apology. They owed us what? Apology. And that apology will not be just by mouth, because imagine over 5 million people was wasted and terminated their life because of Britain. Because of their own selfish interests. You see, whatever that Britain becomes today is us. And because of African people welcome their selfish advice, we are calling on France to leave Africa. We are calling on Britain, England, London, whatever you may call yourself, to leave our land, because we are not in your land taking what belongs to you by force. They are laying pipe all the way from Imo State to Europe. Could you imagine? And those our elites that are slaves to the white people, except some country that match up in Africa, like Burkina Faso, like Niger, like Mali, and Senegal. These are the only 4 countries in Africa who are trying to change the narrative. And that is why we must support all of them, what they are doing, and also learn from them into what they are doing. So, my people, let us see how Britain, with their evil mind, plan the killings of the indigenous people by amalgamation. So Britain must denounce and revoke the amalgamation. Whether you do it or did not do it, the Biafran people has exited Nigeria on November 29, 2024, that we gathered up over 900 to 1,000 delegates to Helsinki, Latin, Finland, and make a declaration of a new country called United States of Biafra. And now that we have met all the criteria on the international global community. On the Montevideo Convention of 1933, you told us that we need a permanent population, a divine territory, effective government, and enter into agreement with other countries. We have overmet these 4 criteria of you. What is he holding? Are you still playing the game that you played against us in 1967 to 1970? And the Biafran people, we will never tolerate it anymore. And we are not going to take it from you. Because this is 21st century. We have known every hideout and all the secrets you keep to yourself. How you kill the indigenous people. And how you are penetrating Africa till today. So are you telling us, white man, if not for Africa, you are not going to live? So we are your God. We are your savior. After, instead of appreciating us, you sponsored killing in all over our countries, in all over our indigenous central land. The killing that is going on in Benue today is unacceptable. What is happening in Biafra land today? Go to old Anambra, where the stupid criminal governor called Soludo is. He militarized the state. It's not that he wants to conduct election. In your countries that you have built very well with our resources, did you launch military and police in every street and tormenting people? We are asking all of you to leave our country, to leave entire Africa. The pains of the amalgamation of 1914 with Biafran people, we must not accept it. Africa must rise and come together. Join Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. Join Mali. Join Senegal and Niger to chase away these oppressors, these colonial masters, because they are planning how to colonize us again. So, we want them to know that we understand the game they played in 1967 into 1970 to use UN. And I'm asking every member of UN today, are you going to still play the same game again? Why are people keeping quiet? Tomorrow we make it, tomorrow on November 29, we make it 1 year that Biafra has been declared. And we have met all the criteria you asked us to meet. And what is stopping you from giving us national recognition? You only are to line 4 most important criteria, which we are going to tell you that we have understand it. You say that we are going to have a permanent population. Biafran people, before our declaration, we conduct our self-referendum by our prime minister and the cabinet members, which give us over 50 million votes. That only that one alone chose that we permanent population. None of you in your country, even in Nigeria, get 50 million votes to become a president of a country. But we have achieved that. We prove that we have a divine territory push what enterprise or what mess us up Biafra as a state is, as a country is, we have 40 states. In those of the 40 states, 3 of them are having election of governor and deputy right now. To prove that we are a country, that we have a permanent population, that we have a divine territory. Triple M, I wish this is Triple M. I greet you. You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I love you. I see Divine. You're welcome too, my brother. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we move. We are letting Britain to know. We are letting UN to know. We are letting African Union to know that that game that they use them to play against us, if they try it this time, it's going to backfire back to them. Rather, we are not waiting to them because Kosovo is not waiting for any of you to become a country. Afghanistan in 2021 did not wait for any of you to become a country. Northern Cyprus did not wait for any of you to become a country. So we, the Biafran people, we are not waiting for any of you to become a country. We are already our country on our own because the thing that we needed is in our hand and we are pushing towards that. Now that the government of Biafra is going to diplomatic, political movement to it, you want to play deaf ear. Again, it's no longer that the same game the way it used to be. The game has changed. That is why the Biafran people have stood up. And that's why we are letting you to know, because I told you that I wanted to tell you they are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. That is why we're raising on our voice on social media to let the world know, to let America, to let the members of UN that are all corrupt entity to know that Biafran people has maintained their mandate by making Biafra to become a sovereign state. That is why we are conducting election on the name of United States of Biafra. That is why we are conducting our election in one of the 40 states. In 3 of the 14 states, old Anambra that has 3 states that made up of what? Of Odimegu, Ikemba, and Omambla. Our election, that is our right to conduct, our peaceful right to prove that we are a country, we are doing that. And you can see it in social media. We are not hiding ourselves anymore. And we are not going to die in denying of what belongs to us. Whether the UN, whether EU, whether all these countries play a tough ear, you must come to know that Biafra is a country very, very soon. We have a government that is in control of I, as a citizen of United States of Biafra. That is who we are. The Biafran people have denied our rights so much. The killing going on in Biafra land is going on in Nigeria because we are fighting for every black man. We also letting Africa to know that Africa dies because of the refuse to recognize Biafra as a country in 1967 to 1970. Africa died because of Biafra died in 1967 to 1970. But now we rose up. You join hand to recognize us, we bring Africa back to life. We are the light of Africa. And then say Nigeria, the Biafran people are the light of Africa. Go and verify in the history who we are. So my people, let us see the document of how Britain refused and how Britain was masterminded that Biafra is not going to be a country in 1967 to 1970. Britain is our problem. UK with their evil, the so-called England, the so-called London, you are our problem. But we don't care anymore because what's that thing that you have sowed in our land, you are going to reap it very soon in your own country. The way you denied us is how the world is going to deny you very soon. You run away from some areas and say, I'm no longer part of this, and because of what? What are you still doing from before the 1967? What are you doing in our land, in our country? You bring destruction. You bring killing. The meaning of one Nigeria, you amalgamated. One Nigeria is a death sentence to every indigenous people. In Edo State, Fulani are killing people. And there is criteria that you told us that when these things are happening, that people are going to band to have their own country. You said one, insecurity, killings, inhuman treatment, abuse of rights. You counted these 14 in that your UN charter and told us that when these things are happening, that people are free to form a country under self-determination. And now ask you, your self-determination is it only for the white people like you? Because all we are seeing that is going on, that is self-determination is only for you people. If self-determination, you said, is for right for every indigenous people, every human being in life, that is their right for self-determination, why Britain refused for over 5 years to talk about their citizen called Mazen Nandekano, the president of United States of Biafra? And why Britain are still laying pipe from Imo State down to Europe? Rather, you will tell us, oh, after self-defense, that you people valued territorial integrity of killing people. What happened to South Africa? You revoke their territorial integrity has over happened in Nigeria. Sanctioning Nigeria, placing embargo in Nigeria is not enough. It's not the solution. The solution is to let those who want to have a new country to have it. Why is the world, why Europe is afraid of Biafra as a country? We all knew, and we have breathed it here. Why you are afraid of us as a country? Chibos, you are welcome. Sylvester, you are welcome. Why is self-determination? When Russia and Ukraine is fighting, I saw a second lady of America, the vice president, rushing to Ukraine and tell them, it's your inalienable right for your self-defense to choose those that you are going to be your friend, to choose that are going to govern you. But when it's come to black man, you come to fight against us. That is why today, France are sponsoring jihadists, sponsoring Boko Haram to go into Burkina Faso to tear up the country. You only involved is to create crises in our countries and denied us. You denied us. Then when our leaders rose up under self-defense, under self-determination, you arrested them, you imprisoned them as a common criminals. We are not going, never. We will take it again. We have prepared ourselves the way we were before. Before, we don't have a government. But now we have effective, a very formidable working government that send members of USB government to Burkina Faso to show to the Africans that Biafra has become a country. Our document is in the tables of all the African countries and every country in the world, and even in that so-called Nigeria. So, we are not going to take it easy with any country who will come against us to stop us again for our international recognition. Britain must be careful. Whether they call it England, whether they call it UK, whether they call it London, we don't give a fuck over that. Well, the only thing we give a concern is that we must be free like you. Every Nigeria politician, both governors, are slaves to the Britain. That is why They don't have their own words of mouth. How could you believe that if somebody wants to become a president in Nigeria, he will go to Chatham House in UK and they will choose him there and he pose it on the people? Where is this democracy that the world are preaching? There is no democracy. The era of the colonial master is happening in Nigeria. And for we, the Biafran people, we are not going to bow down to it. That is why we stood up again for the second time to make a declaration, to re-declare what Ojukwu declared in 1967 to 1970. The only thing we did is that we put spices and call it what? United States of Biafra. That was declared on November 29, 2024. November, coming soon, tomorrow, we make it. It's going to remark, we are going to have some days to enter into our 1 year of our official declaration of United States of Biafra as a country. This is who we are. And we are not going to go back for you. We want the world to know. We are telling you. We are giving it to you. That's it. And the Biafra as a country is the solution to the killings of every indigenous people in Nigeria. We are solution that tomorrow these Fulanis, these bandits, will not attack America tomorrow. If you know their plan, then the Europe will rush to recognize Biafra to stop this killing that is going on in Nigeria. You may ask us on comments, you may ask us how can we stop it? Then we tell you why. We're going to let you know why is it happening. We are also calling on the United States of Biafra to pay attention that Britain was the one who stopped our official recognition. Britain single-handedly play a diplomatic movement on us that we are not country will recognize Biafra in all the Europe, and it happens like that. So today, we must know their secret, and they are still playing under their gallery. So now we are going to know about them. Then when you know your enemy, you know how to defeat your enemy. Britain is our enemy. They caused the death of over 5 million Biafrans through the genocidal war that happened in Biafra land, between Biafra and Nigeria. Today, what are they doing? Are they still sponsoring it anymore? Are they still doing it? Yes, the answer is yes. Britain continued from where they stopped in the olden days. But we, in this new generation, have said no. And this is why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is incarceration. Our president is being held by the Nigerian government. That is why our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is being held by Finland. Why is it that when Africa stood up to under self-defense, you come against them? You white man, you white country. Why? So freedom is only for you. Look at Finland, who fought a Cold War with their own citizens that by over 40 million people. Because they are fighting for their own freedom. Holding a man who is defending himself, his people, under law of self-determination. Why that is that when it comes to a black man, when it comes to Biafra, self-determination is not for us. But it's only for you, it's white man. It's only for you, it's an inalienable right. For we, it's not an inalienable right. And those things that you told people that you read down, that you said, when you see such things happening in your areas, please go and have your own country under self-determination. Why are you playing a blind eyes? Why are you playing a deaf ear? Why are you no longer breathing from your nose? Why are you breathing from your anus? Britain, the white people. Why? We are this era we are very bitter because we have suffered enough. They have killed us enough. Every day killing going on. When South Africa refused to give Namibia the recognition, what happened? You sanction, you revoke South Africa mandate as a member of UN. But today, because of the oil, that is why you don't care. Because of the oil, That is why you allow them to be killing to kill human beings, because you value oil more than the life of the people. Because you are laying pipe from Imo State to your so-called Europe. The law of self-determination is only for the Europe. Is it true? Only for the white. It's not for any black. It's not talking about the Biafran people, because you know who we are. But the hands of Squirrel Biam is with us. And he is the one protecting us. He will not allow us to fail again. Now that we know that you are our enemy, and you put all these things, I hide all of them in documents, because he said when you want to deceive an Igbo man, please write something down. They will not go and research. We have come to let you know that Britain, England, UK, London, you are our problem. But we are going to stop you this time around. We are going to do that. Sammy, you are welcome. Good evening from here, my brother. So please, my people, let us go into the why the Britain stop us from international recognition. Listen to this as I play this video, as I play this document. Let us read it together. Let us comment together on it.
This is a crucial question that highlights Britain's direct intervention in the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970. Britain actively worked to block international recognition of Biafra through diplomatic efforts and direct military support to the Nigerian government. The core reasons for this policy were driven by a combination of significant economic self-interest and a desire to uphold a specific post-colonial principle. 1. Paramount economic interest: oil. This was the single most important factor driving the British government's policy. Protecting Shell BP's assets, the Biafran region, the former Eastern region, held the vast majority of Nigeria's newly discovered and highly profitable oil reserves. British investment, especially from the oil company Shell BP, was immense. Guaranteeing oil flow, British officials determined that the fastest and most secure way to protect these investments and maintain the flow of oil to Britain was to ensure the Nigerian federal government, FGN, remained in control of the territory. Mitigating domestic shortfalls, the 1967 Six-Day War had disrupted oil supplies from the Middle East, making Nigerian oil strategically vital for the UK's domestic energy needs at that specific time. Protecting this access was prioritized over neutrality. As declassified government documents from the time noted, the sole immediate British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigerian economy should be brought back to a condition in which our substantial trade and investment in the country can be further developed, and particularly so we can regain access to important oil installations. 2. Geopolitical principle: preserving colonial borders. Fear of fragmentation. If Biafra's secession was recognized, Britain feared it would set a catastrophic precedent for the rest of Africa. Nearly all post-colonial African states contained multiple ethnic groups within artificial borders drawn by European powers. Upholding OAU policy, Britain's position aligned with the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which generally opposed any attempt to redraw colonial boundaries. They feared that if Nigeria, a key Commonwealth nation and one of the largest states, was allowed to break up, the rest of the continent would follow suit, leading to widespread instability and conflict. How Britain blocked recognition. Britain supported the federal government of Nigeria in three main ways to ensure Biafra failed. 1. Diplomatic influence. Britain used its seat at the United Nations and its diplomatic network to lobby other countries, convincing them that supporting the FGN was essential for maintaining order and stability in Africa. 2. Arms and logistics. Despite the escalating humanitarian crisis, Britain continued to be the main supplier of arms and ammunition to the Nigerian military. This material support was instrumental in giving the FGN the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces. 3. Public relations. The British government worked to help the FGN improve the presentation of its policies to counter the international public opposition caused by the widespread starvation and famine in Biafra. Due to the immense pressure exerted by Britain and its allies, Biafra received official recognition from only 5 countries: Gabon, Haiti, Côte d'Ivoire, Tanzania, and Zambia. This lack of major international support ultimately contributed to Biafra's surrender in January 1970. The video, The Nigerian Civil War Explained, documentary, provides a detailed look at the conflict and the involvement of foreign powers.
I hope you are listening. Let us play it again before we go into, we are going to analyze it, both you on the comment section and I. It is an interactive session. And after I have played it for a second time, if you want to call, then I will give you a number to call.
This is a crucial question that highlights Britain's direct intervention in the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970. Britain actively worked to block international recognition of Biafra through diplomatic efforts and direct military support to the Nigerian government. The core reasons for this policy were driven by a combination of significant economic self-interest and a desire to uphold a specific post-colonial principle. 1. Paramount economic interest: oil. This was the single most important factor driving the British government's policy. Protecting Shell BP's assets, the Biafran region, the former Eastern region, held the vast majority of Nigeria's newly discovered and highly profitable oil reserves. British investment, especially from the oil company Shell BP, was immense. Guaranteeing oil flow, British officials determined that the fastest and most secure way to protect these investments and maintain the flow of oil to Britain was to ensure the Nigerian federal government, FGN, remained in control of the territory. Mitigating domestic shortfalls, the 1967 Six-Day War had disrupted oil supplies from the Middle East, making Nigerian oil strategically vital for the UK's domestic energy needs at that specific time. Protecting this access was prioritized over neutrality. As declassified government documents from the time noted, the sole immediate British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigerian economy should be brought back to a condition in which our substantial trade and investment in the country can be further developed, and particularly so we can regain access to important oil installations. 2. Geopolitical principle: preserving colonial borders. Fear of fragmentation. If Biafra's secession was recognized, Britain feared it would set a catastrophic precedent for the rest of Africa. Nearly all post-colonial African states contained multiple ethnic groups within artificial borders drawn by European powers. Upholding OAU policy, Britain's position aligned with the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which generally opposed any attempt to redraw colonial boundaries. They feared that if Nigeria, a key Commonwealth nation and one of the largest states, was allowed to break up, the rest of the continent would follow suit, leading to widespread instability and conflict. How Britain blocked recognition. Britain supported the federal government of Nigeria in three main ways to ensure Biafra failed. 1. Diplomatic influence. Britain used its seat at the United Nations and its diplomatic network to lobby other countries, convincing them that supporting the FGN was essential for maintaining order and stability in Africa. 2. Arms and logistics. Despite the escalating humanitarian crisis, Britain continued to be the main supplier of arms and ammunition to the Nigerian military. This material support was instrumental in giving the FGN the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces. 3. Public relations. The British government worked to help the FGN improve the presentation of its policies to counter the international public opposition caused by the widespread starvation and famine in Biafra. Due to the immense pressure exerted by Britain and its allies, Biafra received official recognition from only 5 countries: Gabon, Haiti, Côte d'Ivoire, Tanzania, and Zambia. This lack of major international support ultimately contributed to Biafra's surrender in January 1970. The video, The Nigerian Civil War Explained, documentary, provides a detailed look at the conflict and the involvement of foreign powers.
Yes, as the program is going on, in case if you want to call to make your own contribution, the number to call is +9 7 3 60 51 337, only on WhatsApp. Again, +9 7 3 60 51 337. In case if you want to call, you are free to call anytime you want to call as the program continues, because you have heard me, you have seen how the document that we're reading right now is proving some certain things that need to come into our attention. So now that we are in the United States of Biafra, so we know those that we are blocking, those we are calling a name for them to go away from our country, so they should not be able to repeat what they did before. And it's also, if it's your first time coming on this page, please like and share the program. You will see a 3 dots in front of you. Please click on that 3 dots on your screen, then it will open. You will see like and share, and also subscribe on the YouTube page if you never do that. Please, I beg you, I urge you to do that, my people. Thank you so much as you do that. So Let us go in.
This is a crucial question that highlights Britain's direct intervention in the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970. Britain actively worked to block international recognition of Biafra through diplomatic efforts and direct military support to the Nigerian government.
I hope you get something from here. Britain actively worked to block international recognition. Not that some countries does not want to recognize us in 1967, 1970, some foreign countries, no. But because of the Britain is in charge, Britain is in the world power, they are among them then, maybe second or third. So Britain they use their power to do what? To block international recognition for us. So these people call UK, call London, call England, is not today they have been doing with us. I hope you are following. Britain actively worked to block international recognition of Biafra through diplomatic effort and the direct military support to Nigeria government. This is only how we are not a country. This is how Ojukwu fell. Number one is lack of social media is what triggers the Biafra falling. Not even this diplomatic that they put. But that is another main thing they use. They use three things on us. Push as we are going. You will hear how Britain used the three things to deny us our international recognition. So this Biafra we are talking about it right now could have been a country many years ago. Nobody will talk, I am agitating for Biafra, I am fighting for Biafra, I am a sensationalist. All these things could have died in 1967, 1997 if Britain was leave us alone. If not for the selfish interest that we are going to hear why they come to Nigeria and why they give them Nigeria. So you who is answering one Nigeria, I want to know why they give you one Nigeria. And you know that the meaning of one Nigeria is death sentence to every indigenous person. That is the meaning of one Nigeria. If Britain can single-handedly block us, and how do they do that? How do they achieve it? That is why we must know, as now that we are making education and looking for diplomatic movement, those that will be very watchful for them because they are always evil. But I am promised them one thing, Britain one thing. If they don't allow us to go, what they will see will be a child's play in what happened to us. They will see the real deal when they refuse to do what? To allow us to go, or if they decided to play that their game again. We are not going to allow it for any means at all. Britain supports one Nigeria. The Nigeria is Nigeria of Britain that supported. Give them all the weapon to fight, all the military aid to fight against us. All these things are things that we have to put in our mind so we know who is our enemy and those who never want us alive, and what we can do this time around to make sure that they did not do the same thing they did in 1967 to us again. Britain actively worked to block international recognition. So you know Nigeria won the war. I want you to know that Biafra was a country for over 3 years before Britain used their world power to do what? To make people to compromise and they shy away from recognizing Biafra. If Biafra is a country from 1967, am I going to be here starting again or supporting a new country that was being declared? By now, we will be our own in our own country, and we are going to be the best in the world because we have what it takes to be the best in the world. That is one of the things that Britain saw. They say, no, we're not going to allow them to become a country. If they become a country, there's a problem. So, and you who are supporting them today, you are in the UK, you are against instead of Biafra, you are supporting Britain on their diplomatic access for Biafra to recognize that was in 1967. The same thing that you are giving them hand to do. You are giving them hand again. Again, you know, you're welcome. Good evening from here. When you are in Britain, when you are in UK, when you are in London, when you are in England, and you are not supporting the government, you are giving Britain hands of what they did in 1967 to 1970, blocking for you to be a country on your own. When you see those, they're coming. You see that stupid Petty, that old fool called Petty. What he's doing, he's helping Britain in what they did in 1967, because what Britain did to stop Biafra becoming a country. What Petty is fighting today, that Biafra, the declaration has never happened, that Obato will come out and go and make the declaration again. Imagine such an old fool called Petty. That woman called Petty is an evil. When you look at her face, we see all the evil she has been committed in her face. Britain fought to stop a country. Today, the Biafra has been declared as a country. You are fighting against it. Are you not helping Britain again? It is what Britain to do. So Britain are paying them for them to come and do their bidding for them. So the world will not say, Britain, why you for the second time again? Are you following? For the world to not to ask them, why you for the second time again? That is why you see Petty. That is why you see Sonaya Krawa. That is why you see Ogenkere. That is why you see those in UK misbehaving, because the colonial chain is still on their head. That they refuse to understand that Britain stopped a country that was declared by Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, the first ever president of Biafra in his own time. So when you look at what is playing on social media, then forget Britain right now and bring those gullible who are doing the building for Britain today. The same way that Britain made sure that there is a crisis, there is many groups, is what we are seeing today for Biafra to not become a country. That is why Britain teach Nigeria how to use us to fight us. This is the pure truth we all must know. So when you see anybody who is in Britain, who is in UK, who is in England, is in where, tell him, why are you supporting those who stop you from being a country? How much did they pay you to deny you for your own freedom? You want to continue talking like that. That is why you see that witch called Petty making mockery of social media, them. Fool, a non-entity, a mediocre like all of them, who has nothing to offer. Except the only job they have to eat money is talk down on the government, talk down on the new country, like what Britain did in 1967 to 1970. That is what they are doing today, nothing more than that. I hope we are making common sense. I want to see, do we continue or do we stop? Which one is in your mind? Because what I'm doing is for all of us. I am educating myself and also educating you. That is all I'm doing in a little way I can. So do you think that what we are doing that we should continue? I ask a question. Anybody here in the house? Do we continue on what we are doing? Or are you tired for today? I ask a question. Can someone answer? If let me know if what we are doing is right. Or because of, yes, I see Chibo's there. Continuous. I will love you. Thank you so much. I love you too, my brother. Thank you so much. Now, let us see the main reason why Britain block Biafra international organization. You will laugh. And you see how evil they are. Why they stop Biafra organization? Why Britain block it? On these documents, they say Britain actively, single-handedly blocked Biafra organization. So all the killing that is going on is because of this block of Britain. That is why you are seeing all the killings that's going on today. That's why you are seeing armor tanker. Britain, only what Britain is capable of sponsoring Nigeria with armor tanker and gun and bullet. That is what they are capable of doing. Till today, they are still doing it. They never leave because they are laying pipe from United States to Europe, which they will use to make our mineral resources. But we have come to end it. So We, you, I, other peoples, we must rise up to stop Britain this time around. That is why I want you to know that Britain is our problem. We will be calling them every blessed day because of their atrocity, because of the inhuman treatment, because of the human rights abuse that Britain created in our life. Hand that over to Nigeria. They was abusing us. There was inhuman treatment, there was killing, there was raping, there was harvesting of organs of the Biafran people. Britain is the cause. England, the UK, whatever that make Britain, you are the cause. The thing that's going on today in Biafra land, in all the indigenous people. We will pause it here a little bit to show Britain what they have cost the indigenous people. Let us show Britain, in case if you are doubting us, what your amalgamation and the weapons that you are busy giving to Nigeria, what they need to do. One, you will give them the weapon. They will say they have reparted Boko Haram. They will give those one uniform because they could not penetrate in Biafra land. They will give them uniform, they will give them the armor tanker, they will give them AK-47, they will go in our central land and be chasing and be killing people, burning our houses and our markets to render us poverty, to make us to be poor. But to go Biama always making a way for us, no matter how we do. If you never ask yourself, if you could not be able to wipe us away in 1967 to 1970, do you think that it is now that you are going to wipe us away? It cannot happen. When the world was blind, we stand on our own and fought for 3 years. Why Britain are sponsoring Nigeria? The gullible Nigeria. The death sentence called one Nigeria. The amalgamation of killings, the amalgamation of inhuman treatment, the amalgamation of abuse of right, the amalgamation of injustice, no equity, no fairness, the amalgamation of intimidation. But we, the Biafran people, we have rose up and said no to this. If you cannot be able to wipe us away when the world is not civilized, now that we are the civilization of the world, do you think it can last 3 years again? If it happens that the government choose a diplomatic, peaceful way, the government say that we don't want into armed struggle anymore. If happen to that we are going to armed struggle, do you think that Britain and Nigeria can defeat us again? You will never. You will never. You can't defeat us for the second time, because now we can build anything to destroy enemies who come to attack us. So my people, we must understand those that are our enemies, those are our problems, so we will know how we can solve our problem by ourselves. Everywhere the Igbo people is, they are suffering, they are under intimidation. Today, our people in Lagos, they are under intimidation of Nigerian military. Our people in Lagos State, they are under intimidation of Nigerian military. If they talk inside markets, inside where they are making their ends meet in a day, they are all being what? But we want to show you a video or a picture of what Britain did to our forefathers. That when you see anybody who is in Britain coming against this our new country, that person still remain under this slave, under this bondage, under this chain. What is this? Is it not a white man? Is this chaining a human being like an even animal could not get this kind of treatment? This is what Britain did to us. This is what Britain did to us. Chain our forefathers like animal. And look at him. He wear white trouser. He wear suit. But look at what that man wear. That is why Africa must rise up. Because they are coming for a second time to colonize us. But the coming of Biafra will end their impunity. That is why we want to let the world know that Britain is our problem. They should leave our land first. What I see in this picture, a white man chaining a black man. This is what our forefathers passed through. Why did we do this to any of them? Is the question. Did the black people, did the African people, did the Biafran people, did we chain any of their own in this way? Why all this? Look at him that is chaining someone. The person that you use gun to someone and be chaining, you have two hands, he has two hands. You have one head, you have hair, he has. You have two eyes, he has. He has two legs, he has. Tell me why such a treatment? This is a Britain. This is what they did to our forefathers. And they continuously do it today by sponsoring Nigeria with Boko Haram, with military, with weapons and with armor tankers. This is what Britain did to our forefathers. Now, to show you that we are still now today, you can see the intimidation going on. I want you to see the intimidation that is going on in Lagos State precisely. How Britain is buying our people, how Britain is intimidating our people by giving Nigeria armor tanker, giving them gun and bullets. This is thing that is happening that we all must know. That Britain is our problem from onset. If Britain did not come to stop to fight us before the amalgamation, if there is no amalgamation, there will be no killing. Amalgamation brings the killing that is going on in Biafra land in all over Nigeria today. Because before the amalgamation, there is no war, there is no killing. Before the amalgamation, there is no killing. Go and verify very well. No land disputes. We live according to our tribe, according to our territory, peacefully. The Yorubas are on their own. The Igbos are on their own. The Hausa on their own. The Fulanis from the origin of they are inside bush, governing the bushes until Britain come and they brought the amalgamation to us. And there is killing. There is intimidation of all kinds. There is injustice. There is no human right. When a black man, when Biafran people stand up and move into self-determination, it goes to arrest and detention. But they tell us on Russia and the Ukraine war, the America vice president under their former president told us that is inalienable right of the people under self-determination to choose their country, to choose who will be their president, to choose how they will live their life, to choose how they maintain the economy, to choose everything they want by themselves that is good for them. But when it's going to black man, all their voice will be tied. Today, for me, it's not to blame myself. That is why we stood up and make a declaration of United States of Biafra that have exist Nigeria on November 29, 2024. These are pure fact and figure. These are truths that all of us must know, whether you like it or not. We don't care who you are. We are no longer blaming ourselves. We stop blaming ourselves by finding a solution to our problem. And we know that our problem is that once we leave Nigeria as a death sentence, because the meaning of one Nigeria is a death sentence, intimidation, inhuman abuse, injustice to every indigenous person. That is why we decided to leave. So we are no longer blaming ourselves, but we bring a solution towards that. And we pity you who will refuse our solution, because You must go down for refusing to accept our solution. We don't care who you are. The intimidation is still going on. The intimidation is much. What our people are passing through is unacceptable. What we are passing through is unacceptable. So, like I said, remember that our line is open in case if you want to call, to put your voice on calling on understand that British is our problem. That British single-handedly block our international recognition. You couldn't imagine. You are in your country. You block somebody from becoming a country. For someone to eat from his house, you come and block him. And lock his door, say he will not be able to go out. What kind of human being is these people? You claim you're a white man. You claim you know it all. You claim spirit in everything. But rather, you are bringing death. You are bringing intimidation. You are bringing human abuse. You are bringing everything back to the people. And you claim you're a white man. That's why I said, when you see those white, those who claim they are white man, their hearts are evil. Their hearts are black, but their skin is white. If they are not, why are they not talking much? Why are they not revoking the mandate and sanction, place embargo on Nigeria, and also let the world know for them to give us our own international recognition? Britain cannot stop us anymore. They will never, because what passes them is in their country. That thing they built on us, they built in that thing called One Nigeria, which means death sentence, maybe indigenous people. That thing has already been built in their own country. They are planning January to remove them. They are not going. That is where you will see war, because we are praying for Britain to reap what they sold to us. We are saying we are calling it back to sender. You will experience those things that we are passing through. You will have a test of it. So that is only when you know the kind of evil, the kind of atrocity you have committed. You sponsor those that kill indigenous people. Do it on weapon. That's all you do. Johnson, you're welcome. Good evening from here. Mon, you're welcome. Good evening from here. That's part of your comments. It is okay. So, we must stood up like we have already stood up. We stood up on November 20, 2024 to make our official declaration that Biafra has become a sovereign state. And on that mandate, we stand. On this mandate, we, the Biafran people, have stand. When we said intimidation with Nigerian military, whatever we are telling you here have an evidence. Look at our people's business in Lagos. How Nigeria military are with the so-called EFCC, I don't even understand. Are destroying their business because they want to render us poor again. But we will never. Look at it. What Britain is giving, what they bring to us. Inside market, packing people's market. That is why when we told our people speak broken English.
October 2025, the NAFDAC, we are Columbia Media.
Do you see it? Calling the bandits, the Boko Haram, they use armor tanker. Imagine in a country where they use armor tanker to pack people's goods. How they survive? They close the shop down, lock it, and pack the goods away. Tell me, how did these people survive? That is how Britain continuously sponsoring killing, depression, inhuman treatment, and all this is what Britain did to us.
October 2025.
Today, yesterday, 10th of October. Yesterday,
use amount tank. You
can see it. Who are they doing this? To Biafran people, precisely the Igbo side of it.
Guys, nowhere is safe in this country again.
So you can see
this video. These are kidnappers operating along Ugokenike Road by Opinsuka, Enugu State at exactly
By who?
7 p.m. this evening.
Sponsoring this?
The police
Nigerian
on duty,
military.
Japa, like the
Do you hear
police
that?
on duty.
But when they
That
see
Japa.
peaceful protestants, they will bring their gun, come outside. That is why you know that Nigeria is a failed state. That is why you know that Nigeria is not a country. That is why I would say that Nigeria is a death sentence to every indigenous people.
Nigerians. So this terrorist group, what they call JNIM fighters.
Another group don't enter.
Video of their attack on our soldiers. Yes.
These were attacking Nigeria.
So according to these people, now their first attack with this, their first ever attack on the Nigerian army with this. So this video was released this morning around 9 o'clock this morning. Today's date is 31st of October.
Today.
This fighter has released this video this morning. But this attack,
these are those who come to conquer and Islamize us by force. This is the main group.
I tell them, I say, as they hide them, I'm going to bring them out. You don't understand? No media going to show you these things. No media will show you. But don't worry, I got your back. Everything where they hide, be English Alhaji, will they bring her out. So, for those of you who don't know the meaning of JNIM, the full meaning now, Jamal Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin.
Do you hear it?
Terrorist group, they based in Mali. They based for Mali, but they spread all over. You know, get? So these guys release this video, say, so we attacked on our soldiers yesterday for Kwara State. And this attack on our soldier, and the first ever attack, we will not attack on with this. From the attack, according to them, they say they unalive one soldier. So one soldier, they buy one soldier, then they seize all these items. We will assist you for this video. You understand? So this thing happened for Kwara State. Now their attack happened. So now I got allow now to watch the video. But before I watch the video, you know the story. If they hide her, I'm going to bring her out.
بس الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. كراب دونغرا سينير دوني كاكت جمان سورة الإسلام المسلمين هند داوود نيجيريا.
This is what amalgamation brought to us. Amalgamation of 1914. And the weapons of that before we go further, there's a comment here. Those Nnamdi Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa, Awolowo, they told us to divide, that Nigeria must be divided. That if we fail to adhere to that instruction, that the calamity that will come is going to be bigger. My brother, we have this history about Tafawa, Balewa, and Nnamdi Azikiwe. They open up and said that Nigeria needs to be divided. Nigeria is not a country. That in the future, that if we fail, refuse to adhere to, I read that in that story very well. And if the people, the unborn children, or we refuse to adhere to that instruction to divide Nigeria, that what we are going to see, that we're not going to believe it. That is what we are seeing today. We are everywhere. We look at everything. The forefathers, those that they handed over. Do you ever ask this question? How old was Azikiwe before the amalgamation? How old was Tafawa Balewa? How old was Awolowo? Go and check history, my brother. They did not hand it over to them direct. They did not consult any of them, like you said. Yes, it was forceful. The amalgamation is all by force. And that is because of it by force. That is why the Biafra people said no. You who is commenting, if you're a Biafran, are you supporting the United States of Biafra as the new country to adhere to the instruction of our forefathers? You remind me something. I am looking for where I bring out these documents and where I put it, what they said about Nigeria. It's not a country. So if you that you writing this comment now, that you did not believe in Biafra, that you are not supporting the United States of Biafra as a country, you are still there. You never change. So my people, we must understand, they have come. This is the main group that you see that start attack today on a broad daylight, 9 o'clock today in Nigeria. Where do they attack? Kwara military. They attack the military. And if they attack military, where they find out that military, there is more Christians there. They attack any station, any military base, you have more Christianity. That is who they attack. So that's why we tell the world. That is why we are letting the world to know that Biafra is the solution. United States of Biafra is the only solution to this. United States of Biafra, America, members of UN, EU, all of you should know that Biafra is the only solution to end all this impunity. We have showed you a video of the intimidation, of the inhuman treatment. Now we are showing the video of the attack. This is not the Biafran people saying. We are not the ones saying this one right now. It's them that refuse that Biafra should not be a country. When we talk, they will come against us. It's them now. If up to today you are a fool and criticizing and you are against Biafra declaration, may one Nigeria happen to you and your family members, so you may understand the pains of the people and what people is passing through. All these things are very important. This time around, we, the Biafran people, have stood up.
The names of the people sponsoring Bandi and BK in the north, I want to mention their names.
Listen.
Anything when will happen.
Let us see what I was doing now, Simon.
If I finish this video, you will not see me post for 2 days. Make una know say my 2 hands don't turn to 1. Make una call DSS office, call Nigeria Police Force, and call the army, whether they inside their district. Make una come for me. Huh?
You see it?
Now, there was katakata in Niger Delta before Yaradua came on board. The man was a good president. Now, when the man came, he solved the issue. And all the media, because of Facebook, he called them. And every one of them was engaged. He negotiated with all of them. And there was peace in Niger Delta. That time, the North was not happy. Now, that is not where I'm going. I'm going to mention the name of those people who are sponsoring it. But before then, now when Jonathan came on board, we all know what happened. The North no happy, and Jonathan want to go for second term. What they did was to create something that looked like confusion, that looked like, this man is incapable. What we call insecurity. It was created. Now, what they did was that Chibok get, you know, it's a scam. It's not real. It's not real. Forget how it happened. It's not real. Now, those people, they begin to bring all these people from Niger, from other neighboring countries. They begin to come, some of them came, they begin to register for voters card, and they begin to give it to them one after the other. They begin to give it to them one after the other. They station them. You know the statement of the former president, Buhari now, that if you know, we know, this thing will happen. Now, that
they call that thing by name.
Okay,
that if it did not win, what will happen? That will be a blood.
That BK, they were using it to hit the government of Jonathan. Hit them, hit them, hit them, hit them. So the whole world was aware that Jonathan cannot protect Nigerians, and everybody lost hope in Jonathan.
And today Nigeria is being protected. Why are you shouting now?
Defeated. Now, this our president came on board now. They look. What can we do now? What can we do now? Tinubu is a strong politician. They created what is called Bandi. Bandi is a new creation now. It is used to put fear on the government of in the government of Tinubu, so that Tinubu will be afraid. Tinubu will be afraid, so that Tinubu will come and say, "Oh, make una come, let us negotiate." If you go to the north today, almost every family, they have a band member there. They don't care. They are not who is shouting that they want to buy them. They know them. Even a national governor came out and said, we know them. We know where they live. We know where they stay. We know their families.
Mention the name. We have
pass
on this one. Just mention the name.
That was created by some individuals.
We are letting you to know today that the incident is going on, sponsored by the North. That is the main thing that I want you to know.
Nigerians, not be news again. Say Fulani people, Fulani herdsmen, buy 51 people for Basa, na 2 states on Sunday. That will not be news again. 51 Christians, and they buy for Basa.
That is the amalgamation.
Right now,
this is what amalgamation brings to us.
The people of
UK.
Sure that,
I hope you are hearing it. Your so-called amalgamation. What your amalgamation brings to us. That is what we are hearing. So we as the Biafran people, we will not allow, we will never accept this. We will not. So let us go back to how Britain stopped Biafra to become a country in 1967 to 1970.
The core reasons for this policy were driven by a combination of significant economic self-interest and a desire to uphold a specific post-colonial principle.
Do you hear number one? Do you hear what? The cause of the reason of this principle was because of what? Combination of significant economy, self-interest. How Britain will be a big country in the world. How they will be the one giving people money. How they will be the one doing this and the other one. That is always why they amalgamated Nigeria as a country. The only reason that UK, that's Britain did what they did is because of the common thing, self-interest of economy. How to boast the same self-interest that drag the president of Finland as the stop down to Nigeria again. That thing that dragged Frederick Lugard through Queen Elizabeth, them down to Biafra land. That is what dragged Alexander Stubb today down to Nigeria. That is why he used Simon Ekpa. Think that Finland will be reached. You will never, your poor will be more than what you expected. Because you touched the anointed one of God, Ochugo Kabiam. The same oil, the same economy that made Britain stop our recognition after the life of 5 million people. After that, today, Finland president Alexander Stubb has joined he has told the line of Britain. That's the economy. That is why he's stopping. That's why they arrested Simon and keep silent and sentenced him to 6 years in prison. But we fight. Everything will become normal very soon. I hope you hear it here clearly. This is the interest and the desire to uphold post-colonialism principle. For them to continue evangelizing us, for them to continue suppressing us, that is only why. That is the intention of the so-called British, so-called Lugard, the evil, that all the blood that have been killed in Biafra land will turn and fight all his family members until this blood gets satisfied. Very soon it will start.
1. Paramount economic interest. Oil.
Do you hear it? Paramount economy interest. Oil. Because of oil, that is why we are losing all this life that we are seeing today. Because of oil, that is why Britain is killing the indigenous people in all over Nigeria, then including Biafra, because we are not secession people. We are not tribalistic people. We are people that want every indigenous people to have their life and be free. That's who we are. Paramountly, economy interest, oil. That is in Biafra land. That is why you see Britain did all this that they are doing today. that leads to the killings of over 5 million Biafrans? Can 5 million die in UK? Can 5 million people die in America from other country? Are they not going to bomb that country to the last root of it? Can even 1,000 die in America, die in Britain, die in England because of that's a Nigerian person come and said you because of the girl that is in America, that is in UK? Can they accept that? Are they not going to level that country with all their weapons they have? But they did it to us. They did this to us because of oil. Let's continue.
This was the single most important factor driving the British government's policy. Protecting Shell BP's assets, the Biafran region, the former Eastern region, held the vast majority of Nigeria's newly discovered and highly profitable oil reserves. British investment, especially from the oil company Shell BP, was immense.
Do you hear that? Why British allow over 5 million people, and as we count, if you check the Biafra war, the Biafran people has passed over 2 million. If there is a data to check, it has passed. Protecting Chef BP assets, for Britain to protect their assets of business. That is why the newspaper is dying every blessed day, and they don't care. The Biafra region, I hope you're under this document, you hope you had it here. On the areas of the Biafran region, the former Eastern region held the vast majority of Nigeria newly discovered and highly profitable oil service. Because we are dying. We are facing all this. Mazinan Dekano with a British passport who are taking our oil was kidnapped for over 5 years and Britain did nothing. Because it's one person. When they closed their eyes because of oil and they massacred the life of over 5 million people, and these people that are still dying today and they did nothing, are you not thinking what I am thinking? That these people are evil. They don't value life. They only value oil. A white man values business in Biafra land more than we. But they value their own people. Their own is top notch. You don't touch their own. You don't touch any of their own, but they will be here to touch us. They will be here to do all manner of things to us. Because of what? I hope you had it here. They say because of the oil in the Eastern region, where they call Biafra region, where they formerly call Eastern region. Are you not hearing it? It's not open to you. I hope you are hearing it. For them to protect their company, Shell, BP, assets. Sorry, BH. That is the only reason why that we are dying. That is why we are scattered every country to look for our own survive. But what we use to survive, they take it away from us. Sorry, 1 minute. What happened? They take it away from us. Could you imagine, my people? Do you see why we are dying? This is why they don't care. I hope is it not open in this their secret document? The agenda of Britain of stopping Biafra to become a country. The agenda is just for them to be making oil. That is why they are laying from Imo State to Europe today. What happened in Niger stopped them. They now diverted the movement. And that is why when what happened in Nigeria happens, they thought that Nigeria will become a failed state in 2030. So they can be able to accomplish their business of the oil and have the pipe to be having the oil. Because they want to finish their job. So that they will not be from Britain come to transport the oil from the way they are doing it. Rather, they will be in their own and taking it the way they want. And that is how they told you, after building this thing, they told you that Nigeria will become a failed state, hopefully, in 2030. Could you imagine? So minus 2030, minus 2025 from 2030, how many years remain? Minus from 2025 inside 2030 minus it. Is it not 5 years they said Nigeria will be the failed state? And people are saying when Nigeria will work, and those who build you, those who created your thrillers, will become a failed state by then, because they have finished their business of building the pipeline they want. And you become a failed because you are answering one Nigeria because of only the oil. Protecting their child PH assets. The Biafra region, the former eastern region, held the vast majority of the Nigeria newly discovered and highly profitable of oil revenue. Because of our oil. That is why Britain single-handedly block our international recognition. As we are seeking on diplomatic, they are on diplomatic, telling countries that we do not recognize them. We must check if the same thing is happening. That is why I said, when you know your enemy, you know how you go after him. Britain, UK, England, London, whatever that makes that Britain together, they are our problem. They stop us. And we will check if they are still planning to it again. That is why they leave their citizens in Masinandi County to die because of the oil. If over 5 million people will die because of oil, what of Masinandi County, a single soul? It doesn't make any sense to them either. Because they value oil. They value their business. That is why Nigeria is a company, not a country. And that is why Nigeria, when they say it's a country, they bring the amalgamation. The amalgamation gives birth to death sentence, which is mean of one Nigeria.
Guaranteeing oil flow, British officials determined that the fastest and most secure way to protect these investments and maintain the flow of oil to Britain was to ensure the Nigerian federal government, FGN, remained in control of the territory.
Do you hear their interest? Their interest is not how to survive, we know. The interest is what? British officially determined that the fastest and most securing way to protect their investments and maintain their full of oil to Britain was to ensure that Nigeria federal government, FAG, remain in control of Biafran territory. By doing what? Listen, you hear what they did. Do you see the people that call themselves white claim that they are civilized, they are democracy? Could you see the intention of them? That is why Nigeria, that is why Britain are the one giving the Boko Haram all this one you see. Because you know, all this Boko Haram, all this ISWAP, all this Lacroix, all these bandits, their intention is to protect that name, one Nigeria. Remember, they are not to divide Nigeria. That is why our own case is quite different. Our own case is what different, because we are fighting to leave Nigeria. But these people are fighting to keep it one, to make it a safe haven from where they will attack this America and Britain tomorrow. Because the little snake you glued in our place, you also have it it has also been grown up in your own UK. It's going to bite all of you very soon. You are a white man who values oil. In their secret document of stopping Biafra to become a country is because of oil. For them to protect, because they know that Biafran people will stop having the oil. They knew that we will start. Is why they colluded in Africa and told them, if you allow them to become a country, they are going to create more countries in Africa. There will be land dispute everywhere. That is how they confused our forefathers. That is how they confused EU. That is how they confuse them. That is what they told them. But the other way around, the intention is about the oil. That is why we are calling on Africa to rise up. Africa, see why they stop us to become a country. Because we are going to end their colonial master in Africa as a whole. By the organization that we are going to form, we are going to use those things to stop Britain, stop France, all of them to leave. Those are still in Africa. That's why we told that Africa dies in Biafra. In Biafra, Africa will rise again. Because we are the light of Africa from the rising sun. Could you imagine that? We are from the rising sun. When we rise, Africa will rise. That is why you must support us to give us recognition. To stop Nigeria, to have Biafra as a country, then the rising sun is down. That is why Africa is not rising. But those that are trying to rise is under by force. But coming of Biafra as the rising sun will liberate and free everything because the sun has risen and it's not going to go down again. Please, as you come, please like and share, subscribe on the YouTube page if you never. If it's the first time coming on this page, you will see a 3 dots on the right hand side of your phone. Just click on that 3 dots, it will open, you will see like and share. Please do that. Do not just view the program. Like the program so others may see it and listen. Because you don't know who watches this program when you like it and when you share it. Like the program, please, if you never do that. We want to let them know that we know what happened. They call it a secret document of Britain. Why they don't want Biafra to become a nation. That's what I'm presenting to you. And you have had it now. Only oil is the case. We are dying because of oil. Mazen Kano is in contention because of oil, because they knew that Mazen Kano would stop them from the illegal way they are taking our oil by laying pipe from Imo State to Europe. Could you imagine? And they call themselves they are white. They said they are the one being Christian to us. Before you, we are Christian already. Before you, we are worshiping Chukwuka Abiyama in our own way. Yes, Sister Juliet, I greet you. Good evening, happy weekend. Good evening from here. You are welcome to the program. If you are still here, you are welcome. Because here, we have our own way of doing our own things. We have our own way of doing our own things, and that is what you see we are doing. So my people, you have seen why Nigeria, Britain supported one Nigeria to be killing the indigenous people. And that is why in our land today, go to Old Anambra, everywhere is militarized with armor tanker that Britain gives to Nigeria. Britain sponsored killing in all Africa. Britain sponsored insecurity in all Africa. The question is, why there is no insecurity in Europe? Have you asked yourself? Why there is no insecurity in Europe? Why is this in some part of Africa you can see insecurity? And who sponsored them? Britain, a white man. You claim you are white, but your heart is evil. Your heart is black, more than charcoal. That's why you don't care about what is going on. About the killing of the indigenous people. About what is happening in Nigeria. About what is happening in Africa. You only come, you sponsor them. You penalize the enemies to come and destroy those that are the indigenous of the land. Why? In this 21st century, because of what you are getting from Africa to be. For how long do you want to be this year? You are so greedy, the white man. They are very greedy people. After First World War, you are in our land. Second World War, you're still in our land. Till today. If that we are your slave, it's not up to when you are going to leave us now. Leave us so. Use the one you have got to build your country. You have finished building your country. Your countries are the one, the best. That is where people go to. How many of you come to tour in Africa? You don't come to tour in Africa. It's only your country will come to tour. We only come to your country for tour because you destroyed our own and our people continuously being naive. Ali, it has been so long. Where have you been? I hope you're okay. Good evening from here, my friend. Thank you so much for liking. That is our friend on this page from day one. We want to build a country where people can come. Tell me part of Africa. How many Africa that has been okay for them to tell me this Britain or tell me England, tell me whatever that makes them these white people. Tell me how many of them have African passports as their second home. But it's only us that are the one when we have our own. If we see our people start messing up. When we have their passport, it's like we go 247, have a passport of Spain, and he has now feeling arrogant and become so stupid and naive. With coach shoes, all of them. It's not a human being are talking. Once they use that name Biafra, eat Aduro, and get their passport, it's okay. That is why we must end it. That is why the United States of Biafra is here to end all this. Support the government. Give your fund without looking back. Don't wait until Saturday before you give your fund. Support. Election is going on in Anambra. Support the election. Vote. Very simple. If you don't have the link, contact me. I'll give you the link for you to vote. Very simple. You are not putting your picture there. Just only to vote. Put your name and vote. Online. Use your phone inside your room. Nobody will know that you have voted, and the vote, the result is secured in the hands of our government. So do not be panicked. Do not be feared. Do not be afraid. British block our recognition on international globals because of oil. And because of oil, that is why people are dying. Because of oil, that is why. See, Nigeria does not have power to buy weapons direct. They use Britain to buy all their weapons. England, UK. That is why when you see people in UK doing nonsense like Petty and all of them who are in the fallback, they are still on the chain of their colonial masters. That is the truth of the matter. Nigeria supports, Britain supports Nigeria single-handedly by giving them weapon with the interest of what? They want oil. And they went ahead back and told other Africans, no, don't organize them. If you organize them, they are going to bring numerous countries in Africa. Okay, let me ask you this question. After from 1967 to now, how many countries has come out from Africa? Countries are they not coming out? Now, is it we that are bringing it? That is how they lie and deceive you. And you become against the indigenous people. So the only way they can maintain their interest and their business enterprise is by doing what? By controlling, having Nigeria over gun and bullets and armor tanker by forcing us to stay. They said that the only remaining way for them to control their business is to giving Nigeria equipment to force and to control every territory. I hope you are hearing. Because our brother Exodus is always said,
Mitigating domestic shortfalls. The 1967 Six-Day War had disrupted oil supplies from the Middle East, making Nigerian oil strategically vital for the UK's domestic energy needs at that specific time. Protecting this access was prioritized over neutrality. As declassified government documents from the time noted, the sole immediate British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigerian economy should be brought back to a condition in which our substantial trade and investment in the country can be further developed, and particularly so we can regain access to important oil installations. 2.
Let's hold it here. I hope you are listening. How British stopped our official declaration. This is the 3 documents how British stopped Biafra to become a country. Because of oil, that even though if we are a country, we will still sell to them. But they want to be taking it free as they want. They want to be in charge. Anyhow, they want to come and take it and do whatever they want at all times. The 1967 Six Days War have the when in time of this war, sorry, hold on. I see one idiot. Oh, now comment again. Mwamug. May one thing happen to you. Come and comment now. Idiot. So, Biafran people, we are listening. How British block that idiot who I blocked is he's using Igbo name. Chinech them somebody. That's how they brave they are. That is though that the amalgamation and the chain that British used to deal our forefathers are still on his head. He cannot release his forefather even to release himself. Idiot. Come and write. Let me write again now. Do you think I have time? So, making Nigeria oil is strategical vital for the UK. For the UK to be enriched, to engineer, to give them their citizens a better life. Protecting the assets was prioritized over nationality. You see, to protect their business, the oil business they used to build UK. To the oil they use build UK. This oil is more important than what? It's more protected than a nationality than you and I, indigenous. Is it that they put nationality here is to differ from the world? It's all about you and I, that they prefer to protect their business. And how it happened? They give Nigeria gun and bullets. Government documents from the time noted, the sole immediately British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigeria economy should be brought back to a condition in which that Nigeria government, even on their own, that the economy should be them to handle it. They are the one to supervise because the oil is manufactured in Europe now. Bring it down to give them how many they want. Is it not true? A country that has oil, even less than Nigeria, they cannot be able to manufacture the oil. The bang company where the so-called Dangote is building, what happened? It burned down and killed many people. Everywhere Nigeria, anything about Nigeria is killing of the indigenous people. That is why it's important that we support what? United States of Biafra. Their condition is not for the citizens to live free, but just to protect their oil interests. That is all. That is what makes them to do what they are doing. That is what leads to what we are seeing today, the amalgamation. And when you are seeing some idiot that cannot think will not ask themselves questions. They come and write nonsense. They will go again, thunder fire you. Come and write, let me see you. Come and comment now. So, it's not for the economy to go, because before they come, all of us are having stable economy. If you check who we are before 1914 amalgamation, they said that the Igbo people, that's the Nufe people, that's the Edo people, they have their economy stabilized. Nigeria come and destroy all the whole thing. Britain come and destroy it. We become a beggar. These are the truth that we all must know. So my people, like I said, our line is open. We are not going to finish this document today because of my time. We may finish it tomorrow morning. Tomorrow checkouts. We will finish it and do another different thing tomorrow. It's very important. But I will allow you to play, finish, and I will play the beginning. So I am doing this. If you have a call, if you want to call, so you are free to call me to make your own contribution or to support what we are doing. You have understand that Britain, because of oil, play a diplomatic role for stopping Biafra. See, they said they went to meet many countries to tell them to do not recognize Biafra. Even they promised them what they will give them. So some countries are there. Then when they come to Africa, they told African people, do not allow them to be a country. If Biafra becomes a country, becomes a country, they are going to create more countries in Africa. And the question is, if we are sensible enough, we need to create more countries in Africa so that we meet their number. Because they use their number to chase us away. Go if they are playing football, go and check how many are coming from Europe. Go and check how many are coming from Asia. How many is coming from every part of them. Their number outline our own. Africa will be only 5. You can check the Europe now. So we're supposed to create more countries in Africa to match the population, their numbers of the countries. Rather, they want us to be down, so they will be on top. These are the things that happened. How they stop us because of oil. So today our government must adhere to stop them also. To know the game that Britain is playing, the UK is playing. Now they are UK. They are playing a game to stop us again. Because they only care for their business. And you know that the business of laying pipe from Imo State to Europe has never concluded. It's never been concluded. It's not concluded yet. So they told that Nigeria will become a failed state on 2030. Imagine. So by that time, they will have finished their business. They will finished laying the pipe. I hope you understand it. These are part of the things that we have to bear in our mind so that we, as the Biafra, may understand the importance of having a government. And now the Biafra has been officially declared that nobody will take it away from us. So as we are going in to be waiting for phone calls to come, if there are people to come, let us be playing some videos. Like I told you, tomorrow we are going to finish this document, this secret document of why Britain stopped Biafra to become a country in 1967 to 1970. They hide it. They call it a secret document of how Britain stopped Biafra to become a country. All these things are on. All these things are, they are not hiding this time around. That's why we said we will dig out and bring everything that they're hiding from us. We will dig out, bring everything that these people are hiding for us. Let us see what is going on in Nigeria. For those who believe in one Nigeria. One Nigeria is what? A death sentence to every indigenous people. I also want to tell you one thing. Something is going on. If you're in Biafra land, please warn your brother to do not join any security group that is being created by Ijele Sukuka, Ikenguru Ago, very dark man. These people are creating security they want to use to fight us. Now that the world is talking about us. Now that we are in everywhere, Biafra is making wave. And the world knows that now we are a country that we need, as we're not going to fail again, because the way it's going right now, it didn't went that way in 1967 to 1970. We are on the right track. That is why you must support the government. You must please support the government at all times. It is very imperative.
They were actually shooting. I didn't get to see anybody, their faces, but people that came from that place, see, you can see, the people had to run. Everybody ran and left their car. These are the people that took the corner road. I'm so scared right now because
in broad daylight.
my family.
By Nigeria military. And by Nigeria Boko Haram bandits.
Jesus, oh Jesus. I beg my people, Mona, help me share this video on the world. So
look at what happened.
See if they kidnap person. See bush where they carry them go. Una see these things where just dey ground now. All those white things. Now people's cause so now people dead body be this. Una see weapons where they take by people. Una see where they carry people go, logo area. My brothers and sisters, if you be saying abroad today, you don't know what God do for you. You quit move, you quit jump.
Are you going to remember? That is it.
I beg Mona help me share this video. If na abroad today, I bet they pray for us when they home. we no dey safe again. See, na people's cause na dey ground so.
Yes, so
People dead body
they are not going
wey
to.
don roti.
Federal High Court in Malaysia said there's no.
They are not
You
going
that
to.
call yourself a camp president, you that call yourself a
Look at what is going on. People are consistent. This is why we are calling Britain.
To deny there is nothing like King of Christians in Nigeria. Judas, why do you want to say Jesus? I'm not happy. I'm not happy for how our Christian leaders are selling us. Christian leaders that are supposed to stand for Nigerian Christians, and they are now the ones that are selling the Christians. If we are in the time of Elijah, will Elijah deny there is nothing like King of Christians in Nigeria? If we are in the time of Moses, will Moses deny there is nothing like King of Christians in Nigeria? If we are in the time of Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, will they deny there is nothing like King of Christians in Nigeria? But I don't know why our Christian leaders are lying. I don't know why our Christian leaders are lying.
Because they are making money.
They want to tell the world the truth because of money,
Exactly.
because of position, or I don't know whether they are afraid to speak the truth. But Jesus said that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. You call yourself a Christian leader, camp president, Christian Association of Nigeria. You call yourself a PFM president, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria.
Look at it.
Since 2009, there are Christians in Nigeria, and the world is keeping silent. Now that the world has rise up to speak, America is speaking for the Christians that are in Nigeria. Now that the world have rise up to speak about the genocide of Christians in Nigeria, and you that call yourself a man of God, you that call yourself a camp president, you that call yourself a PFM president, now you are not coming out to deny there is nothing like King of Christians in Nigeria. Judas, why do you want to say Jesus? Judas, why do you want to say Jesus? It's a very shameful thing to Christians of this generation. Why are you people lying? Mass burial every month. They kill Christians in Nigeria. And other pastors, they have compassion. They have pity over the Christians of Nigeria. And you, Christian leader in Nigeria, you are lying. You are lying. You are lying. Know that one day, all of us will live on this world. Bishop will die. General Garcia will die. Apostle will die. Camp president will die. PFM president will die. Prophet will die. Mommy Chico will die. Prophetess will die. And when we live on this world, we will give account of the work we do on this earth. Nobody lives forever. And whatever a man sowed in this life, you will reap what he sowed. It will be in the history. It will be in the history. There was a time there are Christians in Nigeria. And the Christian figure that are supposed to protect Nigerian Christians are now selling the Christians, are now betraying the Christians with Nigerian politicians.
That is what is going on.
Nigerians, you know, when I tell you that this peace deal is not working, some of you will be looking at me like
listen, after the peace deal,
the peace deal is not working.
Listen.
It's not working at all. You know they work. Thief, if you don't a thief don't do your blood. So the peace deal is not working. Now, yesterday night, being the 29th of October 2025, that's yesterday, in the night, around 9:45 p.m., bandits attacked Haidam Mayaki in Bakori local government area of Katsina State. This one happened yesterday night, around 9:45 p.m. You know, when I tell you something, I say go and verify. They will never tell you. No media will be telling you all these things. But you know the story. You got me. You don't understand? You got me. If they hide them, I'm going to bring them out. So these guys came around 9:45 p.m. on bike. You know how they normally enter. They enter with bike. Then they started shooting. They unalive one person. They injured many. Then they kidnapped many. When I mean kidnap many, I mean more than 15 people were kidnapped.
Okay.
Yesterday in Bakori local government.
You, Chineche, who come here to comment nonsense, may Nigeria happen to you or your family member.
Livestock we are rustled away. That same yesterday. Now, the sad part of this thing is that the same Bakori local government area of Katsina State was among the people that had peace deal with bandits. They had peace deal with bandits last 2 weeks.
Okay.
This same Bakori local government. that was attacked yesterday night, they also had a peace deal with bandits. So the peace deal is not working.
All this attack is what Simon Ekpa is fighting to stop. That is why our president Mazaka still remain in dungeon till today. And we are going to 4 days for him to defend. According to them, he told them there is nothing to defend about. He committed no crime. These are truths. Why was our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa was arrested? Because he's fighting to stop this attack to happen in Biafra land. The same thing the president is fighting, and Britain sponsored for them to be arrested, so they can be able to continue taking oil in our land. This is what is happening. So the Biafran people has rose up and said no to all this, because we understand the time we are into and what time is all about. The time of self-determination is not a crime, it's an abomination. But when it's come to a black man, it becomes an abomination. But we must prove that it's not. You see this attack, you see this killing, you see this all these things. That is what Simon Ekpa is fighting for. As a stop the evil man, the second Lulugard in our time. As a stop the second Lulugard in our time. In 2024, you have come to colonize the Biafran people, but thunder will strike you and your government. What is he fighting for? For our land not to be taken over from these invaders, these bandits. Master Ekpa was giving the prophecy. That's what he's fighting for his people. Self-determination is a crime when it's come to a black man. But when it's come to a white man, it's no longer crime. It's become the will of the people to defend themselves. We will see to that. Now that Biafra is a country, Britain, you can never stop us again. If you don't know, go and lobby the whole world. It will not happen. The truth must prevail. Africa has raised up. It's not enough to join those that are doing the needful.
The peace deal, you know they work. Don't get it twisted. You know they work. You know they work. So I don't see the reason why they're going to do all this. After much more, they come back. They do. The peace deal is not working. It is not working. These guys later they come back again. They attack after the peace deal. They will come out and say everything don't do okay. Oh, we don't promise. We say we not go attack again. We don't cease attack because of the peace deal. Then if you don't sleep, forget yourself. They go strike you again. Back on the local government area had a peace deal with these bandits. And today, yesterday night, they were attacked. So guys, the peace deal is not working. I know they will not tell you these things. No media will be reporting it. They will not tell you. You know the story. But if they hide them, me in English, Alhaji, I go to bring her out. Now why are they here? You understand? Now why are they here? I know many of them, they wonder how they get this news. All of them. Everybody, they wonder, they ask me question. How do
every day killing? Because I'm
update legit. No one.
Tell me the country where this is happening.
I know they don't fake news.
And the UN refused to invoke their mandate.
When I tell you, I say go and verify.
And the so-called president of Nigeria still keeping it because of the oil. I hope you will see why Nigeria is still because of the oil in Biafra. That is why Nigeria is still is a country.
Without telling the federal government of bandits to forsake.
In weekend.
If you live in
Breaking news, Niger Delta militants that has been warning the federal government to free Nnamdi Kanu said that they are coming to Abuja today through the sea.
Look at the one Nigeria. Look at the mother crying inside farm.
They are my eye. Everywhere I'm going, that woman will hold me. If I want to
look at this, they kill her inside her farm. That is one Nigeria people are defending. I'm chained. You not chained.
Something is wrong somewhere. All the youths in Nigeria, in Plateau State, Christian, if you are really a Christian, be on your knees, pray for us.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News.
So my people, we are going to end it here, my people, for today. Although we'll come back for part 2 tomorrow of the secret document of how Britain stopped our international recognition. So from me, from here, it is a goodbye. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend.